Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Mother and son tag team. Son is going to be teaching, recommending stocks in the global market today. So, do you have $250 you'd like to start trading on the stock market, the global stock market? You've got your person here that is going to be teaching us all things. Okay, so we're going to start in about 30 seconds. My name is Moturai David Famoti. I'm the CEO of Money Stewards. This is my son.
Hi everyone, my name is David Famoti and I'm 10 years old.
Yes, so get your pen and paper, invite your friends, family, frenemies, everyone. It is going to be a very interesting session. We're not going to stay too long, hopefully. So have your pen, paper, get your comments in. Okay, so let's get started. Last time we were here, my son and I, well, my son mostly, he recommended stocks on the global market. He must have recommended about probably 40 stocks or thereabout. And we got a lot of feedback, a lot of positive feedback. The point of the show was to encourage kids his age, teenagers, to be financially literate. I'm in the financial investment space, so I know there's a huge opportunity when you go when you have a head start. So I was really looking forward to kids being inspired, but I think that we had an additional bonus. A lot of parents were inspired. A lot of parents I must have received at least hundreds of text messages with people being inspired because he talked about stocks. So I thought, okay, due to popular demand, let us come back again. And this time around, we're going to talk about when you getting started with $250 on the global market. Okay, so let's get started. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so David, when we sent out the flyer, we decided to group it in industry. Now I have got my pen and paper here with me so that I can take some notes. So today we're going to be talking about how many industries?
So we're going to be talking about 5 industries.
Okay.
And those are internet, AI, 5G, and robotics.
And then we're going to talk about electrical cars and autonomous cars. We're going to be talking about different industries. All right. So I wrote it because I didn't want to forget. The notes are not for him. They're for my personal use. All right. Okay. So David, tell us, because not a lot of people are aware, know about stock market or have been trading on the stock market. Tell us some terminologies they need to know to get started.
So some terminologies that need to be known are things such as 52-week highs, 52-week lows, market caps, price to earnings ratio, and another one you need to know is volume.
Okay. But what did you tell us what they mean?
So volume basically is how many shares are being bought on that particular day. 52-week high is the highest the stock has been in 1 year. 52-week low is the lowest a stock has been in 1 year.
Okay.
PE ratio is price to earnings ratio, basically saying that the stock is overvalued or undervalued based on its earnings, how much money it made.
Okay.
And lastly, yeah, that's all I said.
Okay. So is there any terms that he's going to be using while during the course of the show? He's going to be defining it and we're going to be explaining on about it. So let's start with 5G stocks. So first of all, I'd like you to tell us, so this is the way we're going to play. We're going to pretend you have $250 for each of the industries. So you can choose any industry or you can even mix and match by the end of the show. So let's start with 5G stocks, right? So tell us what we've been hearing about this 5G technology. What does it mean? And what companies are you recommending?
So basically, 5G is an industry where devices are connected, making them faster and enables, let's say, devices like Google Home, Alexa to work faster, be predictable, all those things.
Okay.
So 5G is a network that gives you high internet speeds.
Okay.
So from the 1G to the 2G to the 3G to the 4G, 5G is obviously the fastest, and also it's gonna affect more like electric cars. It's gonna affect things like it's gonna affect the tech space.
Okay. So what companies are you recommending? What stocks are you recommending they buy within the particular 5G stock?
So
Within the industry, sorry.
So there's different companies like AMD, Nvidia, Skyworks, Qualcomm, Xilinx, all those type of things. But when you choose a 5G stock, it's kind of, I won't say that it's guaranteed that it's gonna go up, but because 5G is gonna produce billions, and different companies will take more of a profit than others.
So basically, the 5G stocks we're talking about is it's going to affect the earnings of a company, and the earnings subsequently affects the price of the stock, and so on. It will demand and supply will push the price up, right?
Yeah. So there are different companies like.
Okay, so in order not to confuse our audience, let's start with one company. To mention one company on the 5G sector. Tell us the high, 52-week high, the ticker symbol. Tell us what the stock is going for. Tell us anything you know about the balance sheet, and tell us why you're recommending it. So let's start with first company. First company is what?
So the first company is Qualcomm.
Okay, so you're recommending Qualcomm. What's the ticker symbol?
So the ticker symbol is QCOM.
Okay.
And it's trading for around $90 right now.
Okay.
The 52-week high was 96, and very recently it was trading for around 75, 70, 63.
Okay.
In the 60 and 70s range. So I recommend this stock because it supplies chips to Apple, different kind of companies, and it's kind of like one of the leading players in 5G with Xilinx and Skyworks Solutions, etc.
Okay.
So the biggest reason I recommend Qualcomm is because not only is one of the biggest players in 5G, it also supplies chips to big companies like Apple who have tremendous sales, and part of those profits go to those companies.
Yeah. Okay, so the second stock?
The second stock I'll recommend is Skyworks Solutions.
Okay.
So I recommend Skyworks Solutions. There's a number of analysts who have extended the price targets for Skyworks Solutions. But
what is the 52-week high of Skyworks Solutions?
So the 52-week high is around 150
ish, thereabout.
Yeah, around there.
What is it going for now?
It's going for around 130 right now.
$130. Okay. And what is the ticker symbol? Do you remember?
So the ticker symbol is SWKS.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I always ask about the ticker symbol, and I recommend you know it, is because some companies, they can be very confused. Look at Zoom. When you type in Zoom, quite a few companies come up. So it might not be the right Zoom you're buying. So it's important for you to learn the ticker symbol. So that's why I always ask. Okay, so tell us more about Skyworks.
So Skyworks Solutions it supplies chips to a lot of companies. So it's kind of like AMD and Nvidia, but it has a wider range of customers. So they have Apple, they have they have a lot of chip suppliers to supply chips to, and not only do they dominate, one of the big players that dominate the 5G industry, they also planning on moving to different companies. They're gonna supply chips because the healthcare industry is it's like also Initiative Surgical. So it kind of does what it does, but Initiative Surgical plus Qualcomm basically.
Okay, fantastic. So that's the second stock. The third stock. How many stocks are you recommending within 5G?
Should I recommend 4?
Okay, 4. So in the third one.
So the third one I'll recommend is Marvel.
Marvel, okay.
So
what is the ticker symbol?
MRVL.
What is the 52-week high?
So the 52-week high is around 30, 40.
Okay.
And
What is the stock going for right now?
so it's going for around $20.
Okay, nice. So why are you recommending the stock?
So I'm recommending the stock because there's been talks about a partnership with other chip suppliers, and that gives them the exposure to not only more sales, not only more earnings and stock price growth, but also they have their own how am I gonna explain it? So they have their own brand, so they're gonna get other people's customers with their own already. So they also have a wide range of customers, and they're one of the suppliers for computers like Intel, etc.
Okay, fantastic. What's the fourth stock you're recommending?
The last one I recommend is Intel.
Intel. You
So-
like that stock?
Yeah.
What
So
is its ticker symbol?
INTL. Oh yeah, so Intel had what was I saying about Intel again?
You recommended the Intel. So we've
Oh,
talked about the
so
ticker symbol. And
Intel's-
what's the Intel going for right now?
So Intel is going for around $60.
Okay.
The relationship with Apple just went. Apple removed Intel from supplying chips to their MacBooks. And also Intel's 52-week high is 69,
Okay.
and they're going for around 60 right now.
Okay.
So I think they partnered with Apple before they went sideways, and I think that was a good thing for Intel because since they left Apple and now they can do what they actually dominate at, what they lead at, so they can do they can supply chips to not only computers but to various industries for healthcare. You can supply for electric cars instead of just supplying for computers, MacBooks.
Okay.
So it gives them a wider range of not customers, but a wider range of different sales in different projects.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so, all right, we're warming up now. So we've talked about the 5G stock. So hello, everyone. If you're just joining us, this is David and I. David trades on the global market. He's 10 years old. And this is the second time we're meeting together to do a video. I'm going to be taking some comments soon. But today we're talking about if you're starting your trades on the global market with $250, what stocks would you buy? So that's the topic of today, $250 starting. We've talked about the 5G stocks. I think it's just a quick run through. You talked about
I talked about Qualcomm,
Intel, Skyworks,
and Marvel.
And Marvel. So those are the four companies he's recommending if you're into 5G. So the next industry we're going to talk about is what?
Electric cars.
Electric cars and autonomous cars. Okay, so let's get started. So what stocks are you recommending in that area?
So the first stock I'll recommend is Tesla.
Tesla.
But Tesla is slightly expensive at this point. It's trading for $1,000 for one share.
Yes.
So it's been quite volatile lately. Like in around March, I think it hit 400. And
yes, when
now
the market, the Dow and the S&P, everything tanked.
So and now that it's going up, it's at 1,000. It was at 600 and 700 lately. It was at 900 a few weeks ago. So it's been very volatile. But if you're gonna buy into Tesla and you want to take maximum growth, I would recommend that you hold them for a long-term span. And by long term I mean 5 to 10 years, so that you can give them a chance to really dominate the electric car industry.
So you don't think they're already dominating the electric car industry already?
Well, I think they have more room to run with their trucks coming up, competing with Nikola Motors, which I'll come on to later.
Okay.
So I think there's still more room to dominate other industries.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's also getting into Uber space with its own robo-taxi network.
Okay.
So that's another thing that they're doing. So I think if Tesla goes less than $950, I think it's slightly more attractive than other electric car stocks to buy, because in the long-term span, it has the potential to double its value right now. Another stock I recommend is NIO.
NIO. Plus, do you think you're recommending Tesla because Elon Musk is your is your idol of some sort? Okay, so let's move on to the next one. NIO, right?
Yeah.
What is the ticker symbol?
So the ticker symbol is, I think it's also NIO, is it?
NIO.
Yeah, NIO.
How much is the stock going for?
The stock is going for around $6.
$6. So that's a very reasonably priced stock, especially when you have a portfolio of 250. One thing you also didn't mention with Tesla is Tesla, you can buy fractional shares on your platform. If your platform allows you to buy fractional shares, which means that you're buying a fraction of the shares, because Tesla is $1,000 and we're recommending you start with $250. So that means that you can buy a fraction of it. You can buy, what's the minimum fraction of a stock you can buy?
So on Robinhood, you can buy $1. That's the minimum.
Okay, so there you go. So you can buy $50 worth of stock Tesla and just have a nice mix in all of those. Okay, so all right, so we've talked about Tesla. Now we're talking about NIO. You said NIO is going for how much?
It's going for around $6.
NIO is going for $6. What is 52-week high?
The 52-week high is around almost $7.
Almost $7. And the ticker symbol is NIO. How is the balance sheet?
The balance sheet is okay. It's not too much debt, not too much in assets. The income statement is also okay.
What about, you didn't mention the balance sheet for Tesla. How is the balance sheet for Tesla?
Well, the balance sheet for Tesla is slightly horrible.
You have to know that.
They have almost $14 billion in debt, and their assets can't cover that. And same with Netflix, which I'll get onto later.
Okay, so basically the NIO balance sheet kind of looks better.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about. Tell us why NIO.
So Tesla is way more expensive than NIO, but NIO is a growing company. It's a growing company. They have the potential to become a Tesla, but in the Chinese car market.
Okay.
So it's kind of like an Amazon, but for China and cars. Okay. But they're still growing.
Okay.
So the stock has doubled in values. About last month, it was trading at around $3. Now it's around $6. So
I have some NIO stocks. It's done quite well, actually. Yeah.
So I think it's a very good stock to buy, and a lot of people bought it at $3. So some people have enjoyed gains, but I think there's a risk with NIO, which is if NIO goes under $1, which is very possible relative to where it's trading at right now. If it goes under $1 for too long, it has the risk of getting delisted from the New York Stock Exchange. So that's one risk for small stocks like NIO. Another risk is that they might go bankrupt because of this pandemic. So I think you should take those risks you should consider those if you're buying the stock, basically.
Okay. So, there you go. So, what's the third stock? So, we've done Tesla, we've done NIO. What is the third one?
I think the third one I recommend is Ford.
People are rooting for you. I'm seeing comments from Facebook. Go on.
So, I think another stock I recommend in the electric car space is Ford.
Ford. What's the ticker symbol?
So, the ticker symbol is F.
What is it going for?
It's going for around $6.
What is the 52-week high?
The 52-week high is around 9 and 10.
How's the balance sheet?
The balance sheet is okay, but slightly to the bad side.
Okay.
Because they have some debt and they're really piling up debt in the pandemic. But I think they released a new version of the F-150.
Okay.
And also they're going into Nikola space, but not with the hydrogen cells. They're just doing the something close to the Badger that Nikola is doing.
What do you mean Nicola? What is Nicola?
Okay, so Nikola is a car stock that hasn't really sold a car or a truck yet. So basically, it's kind of like a Tesla, but without no revenue, no sales, no cars sold. So it's that.
And people are buying the stocks.
Yeah, and people are buying the stock.
Are you recommending that?
No.
What is the stock going for?
The stock is going for around $63.
Whoa. And you know, sometimes one has to be careful when you're buying the stocks because sometimes they're pushed by hype. So they're not making sales, they're not making profit, but yeah, the stocks are going up because people are buying to the future. So you ought to be careful. That's why I normally ask about the balance sheet and so on and so forth. So because there are two ways to trade. There's what we call technical trading, which is mainly focusing on the chart. So you want to know the 52-week low, the 52-week high, look at the chart, the last 1, 2, 4, 5 years. Also, I look at the fundamentals. So if you want to be a fundamental analyst, you have to look at the books, you know, which is what?
The books.
Yeah.
The balance sheets,
exactly.
the income statement.
The income statement, what else?
Also you can look at the debt, the PE ratio, the 52-week highs, those terms.
52 week, that's technical.
Yeah.
So all those things cumulatively we do I will look at all of those things, and then you know you can now recommend stocks based on that. But you know what, make sure that when you're looking at stocks, you're really in it for the
long term,
except you really know what you're doing, absolutely, and then you can day trade all you want. Okay, all right, so you recommended 2 stocks in the electrical.
No, I recommended Tesla, NIO, and Ford.
Okay, do you have any more you're recommending in the electrical and autonomous car industry? Or you want to stick to 3 for now?
Yeah.
Let's stick to 3 for now because I know we're going to take quite a number of questions. I see people saying thank you. I see your comments. Thanks for. So we've done 2. All right. So let's now run quickly because we're now halfway into it, so that we can take more questions. So we're going to pick up the pace now. All right. Okay. So let's look at what other industry we're looking at. The internet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So run us through how many stocks you recommend. And how much you're going for, and so on and so forth.
We grouped these stocks into the internet space, but they're not like really the internet like Google and Yahoo and those stuff. So the first stock I recommend in the internet space is Google.
Okay.
It's trading at around $1,500
what's
for
the
a share.
what's the ticker symbol?
GOOG for class A,
okay.
GOOGL for class C.
Okay.
And
what is the 52-week high?
The 52-week high is around 1,600.
How is the balance sheet?
The balance sheet is actually quite good. They have very little debt. They have a lot of cash. So because of time, I'll round up the balance sheet. Okay. So basically they have around 4 million in debt and they have billions in cash. So I think they have a very good balance sheet like Facebook. I think that in the long term it could succeed with all these I think it could compete with all these new internet browser coming on, Starlinks, those kind of things.
All right, so Google, what else? You can buy fractional shares in Google, of course, if you have $250 that we're trading on. So, all right, Google, what else?
Netflix.
All right. What is the ticker symbol?
So the ticker symbol is NFLX.
Okay, what is it going for?
So it's going for around $440 per share.
What is the 52-week high?
The 52-week high is 470.
Ish. Okay. How's the balance sheet?
The balance sheet is like Tesla's. They have around 15 to 16 billion in debt.
Okay.
And then they don't have enough cash to cover it.
Okay.
So
they burn through cash. You know that.
Yeah.
How much did they spend last year on content alone?
Well,
about 15 billion. So Tesla is something you have to be very careful about.
If you buy more content, you add more people, more subscriber base, and you add more viewing time. So it was kind of a good-ish, bad-ish position to burn off cash,
Mm-hmm.
but now they're owing money basically.
Okay, so they need to be aware of what they're buying. Absolutely. Okay. So what other stock?
Another stock I'll recommend in the internet space is Facebook.
Facebook. Okay, so you know you like your Facebook. So what's Facebook going for right now?
So Facebook has increased by about $80. So now it's trading at around 234, 240.
Okay.
And
that's the 52-week high. It's about 200.
yeah,
okay.
so
and how's the balance sheet? I think you mentioned that earlier. That it's very...
yeah, the balance sheet is very good.
Okay.
It has lots of cash, very little debt that they can pay off. So
And what's the market cap for?
the market cap is around, it's approaching 700 billion.
Oh wow, that's good. Market cap is what the totality on the market.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the totality of the value of the stock in the market. Okay, good. What are the stock?
In the internet space, I think that's all the stocks I recommend for internet.
Okay. Why Facebook? Somebody's asking why Facebook. Okay.
Well,
And she's a stock guru herself. I think you just talked about it. Why? Okay. I think I'm just seeing the question. All right.
they have.
So keep your questions coming. If you want to we can take some questions because we have about 20 minutes or so left. So let's take your questions as we're going along. So we've talked about how many industries. We talked about
we
the
talked
internet.
about
We talked about 5G
cars,
stocks, and we talked about autonomous and electrical
Yeah, so
cars.
that's three.
And in each of those categories, we recommend about 4-3 stocks. All right. So today we're focusing on techie stocks. Certainly, by all means, if you want to talk about other industries that you want him to recommend stocks with, we're happy to do that. As we're taking questions. So, go on. What other industry are we looking at? Let me see.
What was I saying?
Yes, robotics. We said we're going to talk about robotics. Tell us about robotics.
Wait, someone asked why Facebook.
Yeah, I think they're cash rich. You've already answered that question.
Yeah.
So let's talk about robotics then.
So, robotics. So, one of the first stocks that come to my mind when you think of robotics is iRobot.
Mm-hmm. What is the ticker symbol for that one?
So the ticker symbol is IRBT.
Okay.
And basically they sell products that are robots, basically, like the Roomba is a vacuum cleaner, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So they have multiple products.
Mm-hmm.
A risk factor is that they have lots of products, but the only product that's actually gotten a lot of attention, that has actually sold out multiple times, is the Roomba, which has...
What is the Roomba?
So the Roomba, if you search it on Google, ROOMBA, it's basically like it's a vacuum cleaner, but like the size of a...
It's quite the size of a cake or something like
the
that.
size
And
of
it
a
works
cake.
on its own, so okay then.
And it works on its own, so it just vacuums all those things.
Okay, somebody's asking any tech stocks that make hardware and 5G parts.
5G parts. So basically, chips. So when you say 5G parts, you mean like 5G chips.
I'm guessing so.
So those companies that I recommend in that space is Qualcomm and Skyrock Solutions.
And you talked about those earlier. Okay, so we're talking about iRobots, right?
Yeah.
What is the 52-week high?
So the 52-week high is about almost 100.
Oh, wow. Really? Okay. And what's it going for now?
It's going for 85.
How is the balance sheet?
It's also one of those stocks that not a lot of debt and not a lot of cash.
Okay. But they're doing great things. All right. What else do you want to talk to us about iRobot?
The PE ratio is not available, if I recall.
Okay.
I think. And they have good volumes, though. Good trading volumes.
Okay, good. Yeah, yes, they do. I like the iRobot. I invested in that one. I like that one. Okay, so iRobot, what's the next one?
The next one I'll recommend in robotics. There's a lot of companies in robotics that also do 5G and AI.
Okay.
So there's some companies I'll repeat because Amazon does Alexa, they do e-commerce. So some companies do lots of things. So Google does robotics with Google Home, and it's also gonna benefit from 5G. They're gonna make new devices, which also leads to robotics, blah blah blah. And also, with the Google Home, what they're trying to do, what Amazon and Google are trying to do is that they're trying to make Alexa and Google more predictable. So if you wake up from bed and you want the light on, what they're trying to do is be predictable, and if you want the lights on, try and put the lights on. So
okay, so basically they're making us more lazy. So I've got a question here from Genie Money, and he's a stock guru, so you have to answer properly. So he's saying that how much higher can we go, given that we have already seen since okay, so we've basically it's asking that Tesla, we've seen 80% increase. How much higher can we go?
If you're looking for long term, my expectations is that in 3 to 8 years, 3 to 5 years, I think that Tesla will reach 3,000 at least.
Oh wow, that's a bold one. So tell us why. Justify it.
So well, I think it can triple in value from here because I think they just surpassed Toyota in market cap. So I think they've become the most valuable car company in the world.
Most valuable car company in the world, yeah.
Also, they've posted lots of billions of debt, but those billions of debt have helped them use research to make self-driving a possibility, blah, blah, blah. They've done research for the cars, the batteries, how to expand the range of miles. So it's competing. I think a car that can challenge Tesla's is the Ford's F-150 because it's kind of like a truck, but I think that it can challenge the upcoming Tesla trucks that Elon Musk has posted.
So but you guys love your car, so we're going to move on. Somebody's asking, what is robotics? So what are robotics? Do you teach other children? Somebody wants to, so we're going to mention that soon. So quickly answer, what are robotics? Somebody's asking, what is robotics?
So robotics is like, it's, how would I explain it? So basically, Alexa. So it's a hard concept to explain, to put in words. It's basically like
something that does something automatically, should we say?
Yeah. It's a hard concept.
Think on that answer, right? Because you have to come up with the answer, right? I am surprised. Somebody says, thanks for the surprise. Thanks for the heads up. People are rooting for you. Thank you so much. So somebody asked whether you teach other children. So my name is Mo, and I run Money Stewards. I run several mentorship sessions with people. In fact, we're starting our mentorship session next week, Saturday. So for those of you that are interested in learning about, talking about entrepreneurship, investments in the global market, either real estate investment or paper assets such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, you can sign up for my mentorship program. It's on my link. If you click my link on Instagram, you can sign up for it. And yes, I have quite a few children that have signed up for my program, and they're all interested in learning how to trade on the stock market. Certainly, David, is one of my students. Well, but anyway, just hit my bio, send me a DM, and we can give you more information about the mentorship programs and the training sessions that I hold. I'm very, very passionate about financial literacy and investments because I know the advantage it can bring. Okay, so we're bending towards the right just to read what is there. Robots, the new employee maybe. Oh wow, that's a good way to look at it. Okay. Good employee. Okay, so you're talking. So the next stock on robotics again. What's the next stock?
So the next stock on robotics. There's a lot of stocks in the robotic space.
Okay, so let's mention them quickly because we're now running out of time. So you've mentioned iRobot. What else?
So most stocks in the robotic space also do other things like other industries like Amazon, blah blah blah. So another one in the robotic space is Amazon.
Okay.
Because they created Alexa, the Ring camera, blah blah blah. So basically what they do is that they do e-commerce. They have an e-commerce platform for buying, selling businesses or whatever. And they also do another industry which they do robotics. They created Alexa. I think it's kind of weird they do e-commerce and they created Alexa, because it's kind of saying Kroger started a social media company, but basically they also do Alexa, which goes into the robotic space. You can ask Alexa questions, or you can do things like...
Okay, let me hold it like this. All right, come on.
Or you can do things like ask Alexa to switch off the lights. So it's kind of like a human robot. Something.
Okay.
Let's say something like that.
All right, so that's fantastic. So now we can read the questions properly because we kept tilting. So somebody's asking about Lego Mindstorm. How about Lego? Do you know anything about Lego?
Lego Mindstorm.
Yeah. I don't know that either.
I don't know.
Are they on the market? Are they listed on the stock market, Lego?
I don't think so.
I don't know about that one. Okay. Let me see. Let me go back if we missed any questions from the beginning.
Disney shirt. Did someone say Disney or what?
Okay, to go ahead and talk about Disney. I think somebody mentioned Disney. Go on.
Okay. So Disney is basically like they do theme parks, they do movies, Pixar, all those sorts of things. It's been impacted a lot because of the virus that's spreading, the pandemic we're in. So it's been impacting a lot of Disney's profits, earnings, and stock prices.
Would you recommend Disney?
It's kind of like in the middle, because right now you could see at a relatively cheap valuation.
What is the market 52-week high, Disney?
The 52-week high is around 150.
And do you know the market cap?
The market cap, if I recall, is 100 billion.
Okay. All right. I can't remember the market cap either. But the ticker symbol is what?
So the ticker symbol is DIS.
DIS. Okay. All right. Cool. So it's a good stock to buy now. Okay. So we're moving. So we've covered we've talked about the tech, the robotics. So you mentioned iRobot, Amazon. What other ones? I know you talked about Amazon in detail. What other one are you recommending?
I think I mentioned Google Home.
You mentioned Google. What else?
And those are most the best robotic stocks I can think of.
Okay, you can think of. And you can get fractional shares because remember our budget is 250. All right, lastly, okay, David recommended cruise line last time. It was a great prediction, Royal Caribbean. All right, well, thank you very much for an avid follower and believer of David. So yes, David would recommend it. I think the stock has actually gone up over 100% since then.
Yeah.
I think he talked about, we talked more about cruise stocks. We talked about Royal Caribbean, right?
Yeah,
I think Royal Caribbean is about $60 right now. So it's doing very well. Although there was an announcement today, I know Ginny Money sent it to me, that the crews are saying they're going to resume around about September. So that might have an effect on the market. If it does dip, I don't think it's something for you to worry about. Don't worry. Those are good stocks generally to hold on to because you're at $60. What is the 52-week high of RCL?
So RCL, the 52-week high is 120, 130.
And what is the market cap?
The market cap is 3 billion.
3 billion?
Yeah.
Royal Caribbean?
Oh, around 5 to 10 billion.
Yes, it's around about that. It's not 3 billion. And so he recommended that. Some of the cruise stocks we like was CCL, which is what?
CCL is trading at $20 now.
That's Carnival Cruise Lines, right?
Yeah, then there's Norwegian Cruise
What
Lines.
is the 52-week high for CCL? Okay, and for Norwegian Cruise, what's the 52-week high?
The 52-week high is also around $60.
What is the market cap for that one?
The market cap is around 7 billion.
What is the ticker symbol for that one?
The ticker symbol is NCLH.
And what is it going for right now?
It's going for $20.
$20 now. Okay, so those ones were the ones we recommended before, and you know the sentiment is still very much the same. Although the techies seems to be doing phenomenally well, like we see at Tesla. Tesla has done phenomenally well, and it's a stock that he believes that will continue to do well. All right. So I think we've covered all the techies industry we're thinking about covering. If you have any questions, we're about to go off. Do send it. We'll see what we can do our best to answer it live. If there's any other industry you want to mention or any stock tip you want. I think somebody talked about Apple. I saw a question about Apple, whether we recommend Apple. Do you recommend Apple?
Yeah.
Why? What is the ticker symbol?
The ticker symbol is AAPL.
What is it going for?
It's going for $350 a share.
What is the market cap?
The market cap is 1.51 trillion.
What's the 52-week high?
The 52-week is set a new 52-week high, so it's $350.
$350 for something. Okay. So do you think it'll still keep going? Is it still a good buy, especially when we're at the 52-week high?
So the stock is basically at the highest it's been in a year. So not only is it expensive, but we're in a pandemic and it's trading higher than it was when they had strong sales. So first of all, I think it's slightly too expensive. It did go as low as 282, but I think if it goes under $330, I think it could still go to 400 with the new iPhone, all the new industries. It just let go of Intel, those kind of things. But I still think it should go a little bit lower before you buy it if you're thinking of buying it.
Okay, so you don't think they should buy at 52-week high?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Might be. Any other stocks you quickly want to recommend? Real quickly, give them just 5 bonus stocks, any industry. And just let us know what industry you want him to cover. So today we're talking about tech stocks. If you want him to cover a particular country or a particular, I know that Mrs. Nima Kikugbe reached out and she says she wants him to cover Nigerian stocks. So I think the next video we're going to do, yes, it was Apple, Biola, it was Apple. He was just talking about Apple. So I think the next video we're going to do is probably going to be on Nigerian stocks. Then you know it's totally him because, yes, so I think we're probably going to talk about that one later, especially if people want to hear him talk about Nigerian stocks and then maybe mention a bit of other stocks, okay? Insurance, do you want to recommend any insurance stock?
I think Aviva is an
Okay, Aviva is a good one. Aviva is a good insurance stock. And right now, I think how much is Aviva going for?
Around 280
pounds. It's
Well,
traded on the
that's
London
pounds.
Stock Exchange. So Aviva is a good one. I think the 52-week high is over £400. So I think there's still a huge margin there. Let him leave Niger stocks. People say you should not stress him out. Okay. So Aviva he recommends. And I think also Berkshire Hathaway, he has some stocks in his fund.
Yeah.
So, he's very big on on insurance stocks. Sorry, I said some insurance stocks. So, okay. So give us some quick four or five stocks before we end. But somebody wants to understand Forex trading.
I think Forex trading is trading currencies.
Yeah. So I think for Forex trading, I recommend Gini Money. Check him out. JINI Money. So he does it very good, and he trains people on Forex stocks. So, Forex trading. He's up and coming on Forex trading. So that's the next thing we're going to be focusing on. After this one, it's going to be talking about cryptocurrencies, and then I think Forex is going to be the last one. Forex is much more volatile than anywhere else, than normal stocks. Okay, so you want to check that one out. All right, so give us 4-5 stocks, bonus stocks in other industries. Quickly before we go.
So one bonus stock I really like at the valuation right now is Alibaba.
He loves Alibaba.
So I think that it could go to 300.
How much is it going for?
It's going for around $220.
Okay, $220. Auntie owes you a gift. Fantastic. We'll send you a list of our acceptable gifts. No, just kidding. All right, so it's going for $220. All right. What's the ticker symbol?
The ticker symbol is BABA.
Baba. All right. Number 2. Real quickly. These are
A
bonus
stock
stocks
that's not mentioned.
that you haven't mentioned. Bonus stocks. You mentioned quite a bit. We have 5 minutes to round up. Let's just run it. Microsoft. We know you're a big fan of Microsoft. What's it going for?
It's going for almost $200.
Okay, and that's the 52-week high, isn't it? Okay, what is the ticker symbol?
The ticker symbol is MSFT.
What is the market cap?
The market cap is also the same as Apple, 1.51 trillion.
Okay, so the third one?
The third one, I think I'll recommend. What stock haven't I mentioned?
I don't know. You're the one that's talking about stocks all the time. Thank you, Aji. Excellent. I like that as well. Nice. See, everyone is rooting for you.
So I think another stock I recommend is AMD.
Okay, so AMD. I don't think you've recommended AMD before. Okay.
Yeah. So
what is it? What is it going for? AMD is the ticker symbol.
It's actually called Advanced Micro Devices, but AMD is a ticker
What do they
symbol.
do?
So they supply chips for computers and other devices. I think they're very, very cheap right now because it's trading for $50.
$50. Okay, what is the 52-week high?
The 52-week high is around 60.
60. Okay, fantastic. So AMD, any other one? Thank you very much, 6-year-old niece. Thank you very much for watching. That is the right age to get started. That's when David got started. He used to read all these books. What's it called?
Great, Smarter Than the Street, those sort of books.
No, that's what you read at 10.
That's what
10 at 9.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
He used to read at 6 years old. He used to read all those Rich Dad, Poor Dad books. Let me check. So okay, my 7-year-old son is 6 years old. He read his first Robert Kiyosaki's book, and he read quite a few of those. At 6, he actually read School of Money by Pastor Olumide Emmanuel, which is this thick, and he didn't understand more than 3/4 of the book, but I gave it to him anyway because you're just almost like conditioning them to understand. Make sure that your 6-7-year-old, make sure they have I'm 5 years old, I see. So make sure when your child is 4 years old, they must have a piggy bank. Okay, they understand money to be spent. Begin to reward them $1 here and there to do stuff, to maybe even if it's to read a book or to do the home chores. Involve them with money. Let them understand that things are valuable. Money does not grow on trees. Yeah, right. That's what we teach our children. No, but money is not in mommy's purse. Mommy is in hard work. You need to expose them to that at that age. And then by the time he was about 9 years old, between 8, he was reading a lot of those, like 9 years old, great, we went through all that phase of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Yes, we did. All those comics. And then I stepped in. I started giving him Charles Dickens books, Good to Great, more entrepreneurial books. Because my son, if you give him a box of Wimpy Kids, he will lock him, Wimpy Kids, right? He will lock himself in a room and read that book all day. But I said, no, we need to get something much more interesting. So definitely get them started. And they're never too old to start, even at, when they're older, give them some stuff to read. But you know what? You, mom and dad, you need to learn financial literacy yourself because you cannot teach what you do not know. So do you check out my courses or send me a DM and I'll be happy to tell you some of the training programs that we have. Okay? All right? And you can have him. He trains too.
I train children mostly.
Okay, he trains children mostly. All right. Okay. So, all right. So I think that's all we have time for today. We've done quite well. Thank you for spending your Friday evening with us. Really appreciate it. We'll see when next we can be back. If there's any area you want us to cover, anything you want us to talk about, we'll come back and talk about it next time. I think next time we're going to talk about maybe real estate, perhaps.
Yeah.
Do something different. Yeah.
Maybe real estate or something else.
A game I always recommend is Monopoly. Listen, how old were you when you started playing Monopoly?
Probably around 5 to 6 years old.
Yes, I started playing Monopoly when I was about 7 years old. So definitely it was a game I introduced to David. It teaches you real estate. It teaches you cash flow. It teaches you investments. It teaches you a lot. So it makes you interested in money. And when it's just an interest, and bonding time, it's fun. So best man games, make sure you play Monopoly. With that, we're going to be playing that all weekend, right? Saturday or Sunday, we're all going to be playing that here. So anyway, I think that's all we have time for. Let me see, how about Kenyan stock market? Do you have any stocks you're going to recommend from Kenya?
Well, I don't know Kenyan stocks yet, but I do know some Kenyan companies.
Okay.
So I think I'll recommend Safaricom if they have a stock.
You do know stocks then. They do have a stock. So we recommend Safaricom. It's
for Kenyan stocks.
For Kenyan stocks, of course. It's one of the biggest companies here. All right. Somebody says you need to train my 9-year-old son.
Sure.
Of course, why
I can
not?
train your 9-year-old.
And just as we wrap up, so yeah, and then what about KQ? KQ, I was going to check that one. So KQ was going for really cheap, but I think it's definitely something you can recommend investing on the long term. For Nigerian, let's give us a Nigerian bonus stock.
So a Nigerian
because you have this your Auntie Biola here, who keeps typing all through. So what Nigerian stocks can we recommend? Let's see whether she'll agree with us.
Some Nigerian stocks I recommend are Dangote Group or Dangote Cement, what is called on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And also I saw a stock on the Nigerian Stock Exchange called Fidelity Bank.
Like Fidelity.
And also there was another stock called UBA.
So it's recommending it's recommending UBA, it's recommending Dangote.
And what else did I say? Fidelity.
Well, because you trade on Fidelity, I think that's why you're recommending on Fidelity.
Oh, and also GT Bank if they have a stock.
Maybe not Fidelity. Okay, so she's not recommending Fidelity. Do you know what? I think it's because you think Fidelity America, yes, but UBA maybe. Okay, so there you go. So not Fidelity. Everybody's saying not Fidelity. You see, because he trades on Fidelity. So we're not looking at Fidelity in America. We're looking at it was talking about those. So Nigerian stock recommends GTB. Dangote. I think GTB and Dangote is great. It says UBA. Okay, so anyway, thank you so much for spending the hour with us. Zenith. Somebody's recommending Zenith.
Someone said I should recommend books.
Books? Okay, recommend books then.
So some books I recommend is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
7 Habits of Highly Effective
People. So it's here. Mm-hmm. I'll also recommend Outliers.
Outliers, that's here. Malcolm Gladwell.
And if you're not that advanced at reading, I think this one would be a nice one.
So this one is Smarter Than the Street. Invest and make money in any market. As you can see, the boy likes money, so obviously it will. So those are the 3 books he's recommending this week, okay?
Oh, I can train your 9-year-old if you want to.
Okay. Outliers. We love Outliers. 10,000 hours of practice.
Yeah.
Certainly he's putting his own shelf a couple of thousands of hours. Do you think you've done 1,000 yet? Hours not yet?
Not yet, okay. But I'm getting there.
He's getting there. He spends about 4 hours a day on stocks, don't you?
Yeah.
So he does a lot of reading, a lot of listening, a lot of news and all those things. And that's why he's able to say all what he's been saying. There's no book in front of us, as you can see. There's nothing. This screen is completely empty. There's nothing. All of it is from his. So he really spends time to study and to learn, okay? Anyway, David, this auntie is crushing on you big time. Special place. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us this week. We really appreciate your time. I'm going to put this on my IG page so you can watch it and you can, forward it to people. Again, the aim of all of this is to encourage our children and us to trade on the market, to understand financial literacy. So when you talk about financial literacy, you can start from personal finance and work your way all the way to investment. So investment is ultimately where you want to be. And when you talk about investment, you're talking about investing in real estate, in paper asset, or in people's businesses. So, paper assets are stocks, bonds, all the paper stuff. And then real estate is obviously bricks and mortar. So definitely you can start them with personal finance, such as savings, managing the expenses. Once you understand money, then you take it a step notch to investment. So we're here for you. Send me any questions you want. David will be here again another time where we have more to talk about. But until then, enjoy your weekend. Will this be on your YouTube channel? Absolutely. So we're going to put this on Money Stewards YouTube channel as well, which we just started. Okay. Thanks for joining us. God bless you.
Thank you,
You have
for
anything to say?
watching. Did I finish my 5 bonus stocks?
I think you did.
Okay, thank you for watching.
Or do you want to give them one more bonus? Outside the industry, outside the tech, something you have not mentioned before.
General, have I mentioned ExxonMobil?
Oh, okay. ExxonMobil it is. All right. Okay. Thank you. They're all hugging you. We're hugging you right back. We love you. God bless you.
Bye.